let's take a look at how to multiply 3 or 4 numbers up to 100. The first question says 8 times 13 times 5. Now, you have some options here because remember, when you're multiplying, you can multiply in any order and it doesn't change the value. So I could work on this the way it's written, 8 times 13 first, then times 5. Or I can change the order around. If I wanted to, I could say 8 times 5 first and then multiply by 13. So again, you have some options. Now, I like to multiply the easy mental math ones first. 8 times 5 is just going to be 40. So let's change the order and multiply 8 times 5 first. So that's going to give me 40, and I'm going to multiply that times 13. Okay, and if you need to, you can always write it out this way. You can say 13 times 40, what does that give me? Now, the 0 is nice because 0 times anything is 0, right? 0 times 3 is 0, 0 times 1 is 0. And now I'm going to multiply both of those digits by 4. 4 times 3 is 12. And remember, when you're moving into this tens place, I have to put a 0 for the ones place, and then I can put my answer here. So 4 times 3 is 12, so I'm going to put the 2, carry the 1, 4 times 1 is 4, plus that extra 1 is 5. Okay, and if I add this all up, I get 520. Right, adding 0 doesn't do anything. So 40 times 13, 520. And of course, we would have gotten the exact same answer if we had multiplied in this order. (18 times 13 times 19). Okay, well in this case, none of the numbers are super small, so I'm not that worried about the order. Let's just multiply the first two together, and then I'll multiply that answer by 19. Okay, so 18 times 13. Okay, so first I'm going to take my 3 and multiply that to both digits. So 3 times 8 is 24. So 4, carry the 2. 3 times 1 is 3, and then that extra 2 makes it a 5. I'm going to cross that out so I don't mistakenly use that in the next part. And now I'm going to multiply the 1, but remember it's in the tens place. So I need to put a 0 in the ones place, and then I can multiply these digits by 1. 1 times 8 is 8, and 1 times 1 is 1. Okay, so when you have a 2-digit number that you're multiplying by, you're going to have 2 digits in your answer, right? This was the ones place, and this was for the tens place. And then you need to add up your digits in each column. So 4 plus 0 gives me 4. 5 plus 8 gives me 13. So I'm going to put the 3, carry the 1, and then 1 and 1 gives me 2. Okay, so 18 times 13 was 234. Now I still need to take that 234 and multiply it by 19 to figure out my final answer for this whole thing. Okay, well you could either keep going here. I'm going to rewrite it so it doesn't look too crazy and confusing. Let's say 234. I'm going to multiply that by 19. All right, well, just like I did in the other problem, I'm going to take the 9, I'm going to multiply that by all 3 terms. I'm going to put my placeholder 0 in the ones place, and then I'm going to multiply the 1 by all 3. So starting with the 9, 9 times 4 gives me 36. So I'm going to write the 6, carry the 3. 9 times 3, 27, plus the extra 3 makes it 30. So 0, carry the 3. 9 times 2 is 18, plus the extra 3 makes that 21. Okay, I'm going to cross these out. I already used these. I don't want them to confuse me in the next part. And now when I multiply by this 1, it's in the tens place. So I have to put a 0 in the ones place, and then I can multiply all these digits by the 1. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 3 is 3. And 1 times 2 is 2. Okay, and now I have to add up the digits in each column to get my final answer. 6 plus 0 is 6. 0 plus 4 is 4. 1 plus 3 is 4, and 2 plus 2 is 4. So my final answer to this entire thing is going to be 4,446. Okay, 9 times 10 times 19. Okay, well, multiplying by 10 is great because I would just add 0 on my answer. So I'm going to save that nice easy multiply by 10 until the very end. Let's start with 9 times 19, and then I'll multiply by that 10. Okay, so I'm going to write this as 19 times 9, and then I'm going to make sure I multiply by 9 by both of those digits. Well, 9 times 9 is 81, so I'm going to write the 1, carry the 8. 9 times 1 is 9, and then I still have to add that extra 8 that I carried, so that's going to give me 17. Okay, so 19 times 9 is 171. Okay, so this is going to be 171. That was already the 9 times 19 part. Now I have to multiply by 10. And when you multiply a number by 10, it just adds a 0 on the end of that number. So that's going to become 1,710. Eight times 15 times 18. Okay, let's multiply the first two first. I'm going to say 15 times 8. Okay, well, 8 times 5 is 40, so I'm going to put my 0, carry the 4. 8 times 1 is 8, plus the extra 4 makes it 12. So this is going to give me 120. Okay, so I have 120 for the first two, and then I still have to take that number and multiply it by 18. Okay, so over here, I'm going to say 120 times 18. Okay, so first I'm going to take my ones place, 8, and multiply it by all three numbers. Well, 8 times 0 is 0. 8 times 2 is 16, so 6, carry the 1. 8 times 1 is 8, plus the extra 1 is 9. Okay, now here, this 1 is in the tens place, so I'm going to put a 0 in the ones place, and then I can multiply all those numbers by 1. Well, 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 2 is 2. And 1 times 1 is 1. Now I'm going to have to add up each column to get my final answer. 0 plus 0 is 0. 6 plus 0 is 6. 9 plus 2 is 11. So I'm going to write the 1, carry the 1, and 1 and 1 is 2. So my final answer for this whole thing is going to be 2,160.